Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Simple Talk. Today we are talking with Lindsay McAllister from LaLuxe Femme. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Thanks for coming. We really
Thank you for
appreciate you.
having me. Thank you.
So we're just going to jump right in. And so, Lindsay, can you tell us a bit about your journey and how you got started with your business?
Yeah, so I guess I've always had a love for fashion, dating back to my involvement in the straight size fashion movement. Unfortunately, to be part of that, I did develop an eating disorder. So a few years later, really embraced body positivity and found my way to plus size blogging and fashion influencing. Instead of trying to fit the mold of traditional straight size models, I sort of took it out on my own. And eventually I realized that, I was selling clothes for a lot of other brands, and maybe I should just jump into having my own boutique where I could really sell the stuff that I wanted to promote instead of necessarily promoting fast fashion, and that I could really serve a small local community that didn't have access. So there was definitely an opening, not just for plus size fashion, but for plus size sustainable fashion as well. So yeah, I sort of came through learning to love my own body, and now I really want to share that with other people. And I am a firm believer that your outfit, feeling yourself, that's a huge part of it. And I think that actually is really important to talk about because it's that lack of access to fashion that
Mhm.
sometimes can break down our confidence as plus size people. So I'm happy to be part of the solution and hopefully making people feel better about themselves along the way.
I'm going to be coming in and checking it out.
I love that. Thank you.
I just want to say how much I love your background.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
I need
So
one in my office.
definitely the influencer, in me wanted to make sure that our change room, that's where I'm sitting right now, is on the big couch in our change room. So you can see it's super spacious, very plus size friendly, and or like party friendly if you want to have your friends in here. But yeah, I have a selfie light going. We've got a selfie wall, so we're very like content creation friendly, and
Awesome.
we definitely believe in the power of social media to help a business grow, especially when you're a small woman owned business. It's a really accessible form of marketing. So,
It
yeah.
is. Awesome. So, it's an interesting name. Tell me, like, how did you come up with that?
Absolutely. So that fits right in with pride, actually. I identify as femme, as a queer woman. So I'm bisexual, and femme is like, it's kind of hard to define, but it's definitely like femme and masc in queer communities, right? So I definitely identify with that word. And I did try to, like, I hired some people to help me with names, but none of them were really fitting with me. And I knew that I wanted to have a name that wasn't screaming plus size,
Mhm.
like a lot of them do. And that's great. If that, I couldn't even list off names without outing people, but I didn't want it to say curvy or plus size. I wanted it to be, I don't know, like, how the straight size girls get a store that's called whatever, and it doesn't
Yeah.
say straight sizes, right? So, and I knew that I was going to focus on sustainability and like the luxury designer end of things as
Mhm.
opposed to fast fashion. So I started thinking up different words, and I can't honestly remember, like, it's just like one of those, like, oh, there it is. And then I checked social media, all the handles were available, and I started thinking then, like, I had at one point had like a collaboration with a make your own perfume company, and it was called Femme by MsLindsayM. And so it just was like, oh wow, this has kind of been building. And LaLuxe, it reminds me of the word luxury, of course, but
Mhm.
then also kind of reminds me of deluxe, which I felt like was kind of, oh, that's kind of a cute slang for like a plus size woman, like a deluxe woman, as opposed to all of the other, words they use.
Love it.
I thought that was kind of cute. So yeah, as soon as I checked the social media, the website, everything was available. I'm like, it's mine. I'm locking it down, and registered the business name, everything like that. So yeah, it's just sort of came to my mind, but now that I've thought about it more, it really does have a good meaning for my journey and my story
That's
with the
awesome.
store. Yeah.
So you were telling me a bit beforehand something about textures, and does that
Yes.
make?
That's a huge part of it. So, sustainable fabrics, I'm wearing like a linen dress right now. I
Mhm.
find it is not only like going to be better for the planet, not only going to last longer and like get softer as you wear it, but for me, I'm autistic. And so something that matters to me is the senses, the sensory nature of
Mhm.
clothing. So I'm definitely the type that, like, when I was trying to wear fast fashion, I didn't necessarily understand that that's what the issue was, especially because I
Mhm.
think a lot of other neurodivergent people talk about like taking off our work clothes at the end of the day,
Yeah.
but not realizing that it's kind of different from when neurotypical people say they get into their comfies at the end, that we've really been struggling all day with different feelings. And
Mhm.
polyester, for me, I found like it grabs every little tiny body hair and just kind of pulls on them. And with linen and bamboo cottons and all these kind of fabrics that we carry, that's not an issue. So I find them much easier to wear. Like you could wear them all day and feel comfortable. I don't feel
Yeah.
that need to, get a robe on at the end of the day necessarily, except maybe to protect the white from like pasta sauce or whatnot. But yeah, um, it's definitely important to me that people have that feeling that they can also find this accessible for their different sensory needs as well.
Yeah. So
So
not only the internal feeling good,
yes,
but like the external feeling good too.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And so that's the thing when you are, I don't know, it feels silly to say niche because plus size people are 67% of the population. That statistic actually comes from before the pandemic. So before the pandemic, 67% of the population was a size 14 or above,
Mhm.
which is the sizes that we carry. And actually, since the pandemic, the average person gained like somewhere between 1 to 2 sizes. So 1.5, we average it out. We're now talking about more like a 16, 18 being the majority of the population, which is definitely what I find. Those are my most popular sizes, the 16, 18 for sure. So we are the majority, but we're still considered a niche, which means we don't get the crossovers. So we just get, here's like, this is what you have. Beggars can't be choosers kind of vibes. And
So
I think
sad.
we deserve better than that. So I really wanted to have luxury, sustainable fabrics, and that being, if you're plus size and neurodivergent, if you're plus size and you like designer, like whatever your crossover is, I really wanted to reach out to that community because while the plus size community in general has been neglected, we specifically have definitely had our needs neglected. So,
I
yeah.
think it's time the world started to adapt, For far
Yes.
too long, it's been, the skinny girls, but nothing against them, but,
Yeah.
the
But
majority are not those people.
that's it. That's it. It's just odd that so many businesses have made the choice to leave our money on the table, like, just
Mhm.
to be blunt.
Yep.
Because the thing is I know a lot of plus size women like me that have a cute designer bag collection because that's all we can buy there, and I don't get it because they see us come in, they know we're spending money there. Some of my friends spent like a lot of money at these stores. Imagine what they would spend if they sold clothes in our size too. So I hope that I can, offer some of that kind of selection. I do have some more accessible pieces as well, but the the price range for sustainable fabrics is obviously different than we're used to with fast fashion.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings me to the point is that I really believe in like ethical, livable wages. So right now it's just me. I'm the only staff person because we're just getting started and growing. But we make sure that all of the people who are making our clothes are compensated fairly. And so while we understand that some things may not be as affordable as other options, we need to understand who's really paying for that lower cost. And unfortunately, we have to be realistic that it is people who are working in those fast fashion factories, right? So we carry brands where, it's small operations, no big machinery, handmade, ethical wages. A lot of the time it's the designer who is on the sewing machine making your little hoodie or whatever. So we have lots of stuff that's made in Canada or North America. And it's I think a really needed sort of niche that we're filling.
I love it.
Thank
So
you.
tell everybody where they can find you so they can
Yes.
come try us.
Great point. So yeah, we're definitely focused on our in-person brick and mortar experience because again, that's something that plus size people have had sort of stolen away from them. And we think that it's very important to be able to try your clothes on. Also think it's more environmentally friendly to try your clothes on rather than doing a return cycle. So we are located in Picton. We're just off Main Street. We're at 7 Paul in Unit 7. So if you know Picton, you're looking for Market Lane, come down Market Lane and you will find us. And then you can also check our website. If you're not familiar with Picton, head to our contact section. There's a little map there that will help you find us. And the website is LaLuxeFemme.ca. I think it's going to be, I'm pointing at the screen because our little names are there. So I'm saying if you can't spell it, it's right there for you. And it's .ca for our website, although I believe .com is going to forward you to if you get it wrong. So no problems there. But yeah, we are also online for Canada-wide shipping. So we're very focused on the Canadian market right now. Again, there are quite a few plus size online only boutiques, but that they are they don't even ship to Canada. So we thought, or I thought really, I say we sometimes, I'm not really sure how to refer to the business that way. We decided that we would focus on the Canadian market since, again, we're even further neglected. It's like that sort of doubling down on really getting to the part of the community, the plus size community that has been neglected the most and wanting to kind of fill those needs. And would love to see you in store. Come and try out the change room.
Awesome. Well, we will leave all your information in the show notes so people can come on in or they can order online and check you out.
Yes.
And thanks so much for coming on, Lindsay.
This was fantastic. I had a great time. Thank you so much, Jenny.
Thank you.